Today on the bench is a Erres AM FM radio. This is a French brand. This is from 1970s. It's not working, so I just open it up. It's a good brand, French brand, and they make good radio and electronics in 17s and 80s. So this radio is working on the 220 volt AC, and then if you can see, it's a step down transformer which is bringing voltage down to the 6 voltage, and going to the circuit. Here is a bridge rectifier, the red one, which is basically 4 diodes. They are connected with each other in a shape of bridge, and what they does, they convert alternating current into direct current, and this is going further to the circuitry, and these are capacitors, and afterwards you have a pure 6 voltage DC which you are giving further to the circuit. So this is the on off switch and the volume control. This is a variable capacitor, or some people they call it tuning gang. This is the oscillator coil for the AM, and these are IF coils, intermediate frequency. They are generating 455 kilohertz. Then when you receive the signal, and then it's an input 450 kilohertz into the tuned signal, then you amplify it in the IF stage, and then second IF stage, and the third. So not only the actual signal, but the intermediate frequency also amplifies, and the third one here you remove it, the 455 which you inputted. So when you remove it, you have the original signal but bit amplified. Then you feed it into preamplifier of audio, and it goes further. So the heart of the audio amplifier is this TBA 120S chip. This is the audio amplifier basically, which amplify the signal and feed to the speaker here. So it's a very good basic circuit, and this oscillator coil is for the FM. So FM is just a simpler tuning method than the AM. Basically, you take the signal, amplify it, and feed to the preamp and to the final amp. That's how it goes. So it's not working. I suspect that one of these electrolytic capacitors are bad, but I'm going to test it. It's very easy. And before we go further, I would like it to take the dust out with the air duster. Stand by. Make sure when you use the air duster, don't blow your air to the speaker, because you can damage the diaphragm of the speaker. Vintage radios, the speakers basically, also vintage. So if you blow high pressure air, they can break and you damage the speaker. So you never aim over there. I am using this X Power air blower to take the dust out basically. So we proceed. It doesn't have too much dust, but if you see on the circuit, you have sort of a little bit ionization. It's not very rusty, but look like some of the moisture did some damage on the circuit board. Not very well. I think it can be cleaned with a contact cleaner. Usually I'm using this Griffon contact spray. It's non-flammable for the electronic equipment. This is a good one I use, and it gives me a good result. You can choose any one, but it should be for use in electronics, also non-conductive and non-flammable. That's very important, otherwise you can damage the circuit. So we give some contact spray to the volume control and on-off switch, variable resistor, because with time the oxidation and it's making a cracking noise when you basically use the volume control. So this will avoid it. We give a little bit to the variable capacitor. Here you can see, so it can be a little free. And yeah, and another thing, we need to test this fuse. Maybe this fuse is the problem, and that's why radio is not turning on. So I'm going to take it out, and whenever you test the fuse, you must get out from the circuit, because even if it's short circuited, you try to use in the circuit the meter, then you still get the reading, because all other circuits involved, so you cannot just see that if the fuse is broken. So you need to take it out. So I'm gonna do that. I test it, and then we see further. So I was right. Basically, fuse was blown out, and I have tested with a multimeter. I use this one. It's a digital multimeter, of course Chinese made, does the purpose. So I check and I replace with a 1.5 ampere fuse. I put the new one. You can see I put the new one, so that was broken. But at the same time, what I did, I check the capacitance also. This one, the big one, I was suspecting maybe that's because of the time electrolytic is getting dry, and then the power rectifier circuit is not working, but that seems fine. So, and I wanted to see further why this blowout, maybe of short circuit, but it looked like all the component in the bridge rectifier area are fine. So it might be the humidity, cause here it doesn't affect too much with the time corrosion and the circuit get dry, but here is high voltage, if here is a little bit humidity, then it can cause a short circuiting sometimes. And the fuse, basically it's a protect further damage, so it blow out, and then the radio is saved. So I clean the circuit with the contact cleaner, and I have to let it dry a little bit, and I do with not very hot air, moderate hot air, and then I will try to plug in to see if it's working. And so I plug in the power. Let's see. There we go. So there you go. A radio is fixed. A vintage radio from 70 by Erres company, French made. And we just change the fuse, and we do some contact cleaning and dry the circuit, remove a little bit corrosion on the circuit, and we test it. So I would advise you guys, if you wanted to test, always start with the power input. You see if the bridge rectifier is fine, if the drop down transformer, step down transformer is working fine. So 220 input, it should be output of 6 to 9 voltage, depend upon the circuitry. And then you go further, investigate electrolytic capacitors. If this is not working, then you go further to the radio stage. And in the radio stage, I would like you to go reverse, like a reverse engineering. So you start from the speaker to backwards, so the speaker, then the PA, the preamp, then you go intermediate frequency stage, then you go to oscillator stage. And there are devices like signal input devices like oscilloscope they use, but you can also signal tester. It's a small device you can buy from this Chinese AliExpress kind of website, couple of dollars, where you can input the signal, and if the preamp and amp is correct, then you hear the tone here. So that's this radio we don't need it, but I'll see if I have some radio in the future which has a problem in the oscillator circuit and IF stages. Then I can show you also how to use a signal input tester to find out the problem in which stage and to repair it. That's a easy peasy also. I hope you like it. By the way, closing radio is not very difficult. It has a 4 screws, 2 here with the and 2 down with the Phillips screwdriver. I will make a audio testing video for this radio. I hope you can come back and see that one to see how receiver is functional, like sensitivity and tuning capacity on the medium and the FM wave. Thank you very much. Until next time.